Hello and welcome to this Tuesday, August 13th, 2019 episode of Gary V Club Podcast. This is the Grab ATTN podcast. And today's episode is about what if you wake up unhappy every day? And that's a big difference between me and Gary V. For a lot of years, I woke up unhappy every single day. And even now, I don't wake up happy. That's the thing. Each day, it's almost like a reset. And that's how it was in the past. Now, I am waking up driven, but it's hard to wake up happy when you're sick. So sometimes you have to build that happiness. If you don't wake up happy every day, sometimes you have to create it. And sometimes it's going to be a lot harder to create it than other days. Some days it's going to be insanely hard to create that happiness. And you're just going to have to truck through it. This is like the biggest thing. You know, Gary V's episode today on YouTube, I just got done watching it. And it's do you wake up happy every day? It's got 7,308 views over the last 3 hours. And that's the thing. It's like, I'm not Gary V. I'm far from Gary V. I'm someone completely different. You know, here's what made the shift. You know, before I couldn't say that I had made the shift. Here, I haven't made a shift in, I'm not living like Gary V. I'm still having like massive adversity and defeat. But I was able to break through of that suicidal ideation. And I'm doing these podcasts to help with that, help other people to break through. Because if you're waking up unhappy, you just got to create your happiness. And sometimes it's going to take a long, you've got to mix in play, movies and music and doing what it takes to get yourself in a better mood. And sometimes you're going to watch music and movies that put you in a sadder mood and a more depressed mood. Sometimes you need to feel that. Sometimes you need to not feel that. And so it's a combination. It's a balancing act. And we all have our own limits and we all have our own unique strengths and weaknesses. And I should have been at a pitch competition tonight. And I should have been in the top 5. And I should have won it. But I wasn't even in the top 5. And then I didn't even go. And my wife was all ready to go and I wasn't. I just didn't get ready. I just decided that I wasn't going to get ready. And it's like, fear, yeah, was a big thing holding me back. Self-sabotage, I'm sure. And I think probably the most part is, since I wasn't part of the pitch competition, I didn't want them to feel like, I would have been more than happy if I was part of the pitch competition, if they would have at least called me and talked to me about, hey, what is this? But they didn't. And my goal is to help feed, house, and empower people to live, work, play, love, learn, and pay it forward for happiness, health, and selfless abundance. There are so many homeless people, over 500,000 each night on the streets. There are over 70 million displaced people around the world. There are over 2.5 billion people without proper sanitation. So when you look at that, we can make a difference. And I watched a documentary last night, and I understand that there is progress. Like, there's been a massive progress since the 70s, like an 80% reduction in extreme poverty. It's getting better, but it's still a long way. We can make it better together. And that's what I'm working on. And I wasn't even a part of the top 5, and I held it against the community, my resentment toward the Lean Rocket Lab. Part of me just wants to leave this area, and I don't know why. I mean, I know why, and I don't know why. I don't know if I should break through this or if I should just move on. And I can't tell if it's running away from here or if it's moving to a better place that's going to allow better opportunity. In Lansing, I look at my overall levels each day and what I was doing, and then I look at here in Jackson, and now I think that there are ways that could make me feel, completely comfortable and get through the judgment, and maybe some of it has to do with apologies, um, from me, and I need to make things right. I just don't really know how to in certain situations. And I feel like, there are there are enough people that don't want me here that I don't know why I should be here. I'm challenged. I'm challenged deeply because I didn't go to that competition. It's not like it just holds me back a little bit. It's like, okay, well, I could have probably just kicked myself in the face and may have missed out on an opportunity of funding from someone that I just happened to talk to, and or that my wife, her attitude, her personality, may have attracted the right person to start talking to us, and but no, instead it's just been a not good situation, and I don't feel good about things. I don't know. I don't really know what to do moving forward because part of me thinks that I need to just focus on these podcasts, and the other stuff will come. But right now, I need to focus on the podcast and get myself right. And I mean, I'm not great. I'm not gaining any traction, and I'm causing more problems for myself the more I try to make this happen. That's the thing. Like I now owe an insane amount of money for internet because of this pitch competition when I should have just not had internet, took a step back, relaxed, did what I had planned to do in the forest, except do it here, let my wife work, and chill out. Instead, I did the same exact mistake. When I realized the mistake, I quickly started focusing more on my podcast, more on the pitch stuff, but it wasn't quick enough. And I just, Gary teaches patience, and that's the thing. I think that's the biggest thing, as I've learned that, the unhappiness and frustration and stuff that comes a lot from the fact that I've sucked. I just haven't been good enough. I've been really good in some areas, and then I've thought that because I was so great in those other areas, it would translate into different areas, and it just hasn't. And I've just sucked really bad, and I've caused a lot of problems for myself and others. And so now I'm at this point where it's like, you know what, these podcasts, this is the first thing I actually feel like I've done right. I actually feel like there's nothing else better I could be doing with my time and energy. So that's what I'm going to continue to focus on, but I'm going to focus a lot less on, Happy Hero Studio, Inspire Lansing, that kind of stuff. If you want to check it out, you can go to those websites, inspirelansing.com, and see what I'm working on. But ultimately, I'll create the first Happy Hero Studio when I can afford it. You know, if I'm able to get it together, I get it together, but I'm not going to keep making the same mistake over and over. I need the proper funding, and until I have it, until I have the proper customers, until I can influence customers and investors, I need to stop throwing so much money into it. Because the amount of money that I'm throwing isn't, I mean, it's like one investor could give me way more, $1 million that could last years at the rate I have been going. So it's just nonsense to put myself through that level of struggle, especially if I'm not even able to help people in the short term. So this is about the long term, a lot more long term thinking now. I'm just doing it. And if, these obstacles come up, just keep going, keep going, keep going. It's going to keep getting better and better, or I'll just die an old crazy man. I don't know. I mean, seriously, if you watch this, tell me, am I crazy? Am I stupid to be doing what I'm doing? Is it stupid to want to build housing for people that can't afford the expensive housing? Is it stupid to want to create quality manufactured, high quality, rapidly manufactured housing? Is it crazy to want to do that? I don't know. Like, I look at my hair, and I look at myself, and I look at Gary Vee. It's like I'm definitely not Gary Vee. I don't have his enthusiasm. It's like these videos. Are these videos going to get the kind of attention that his videos? Even 7,000 people. If 7,000 people watch this to this point, what would they think? How many people would buy? Would any buy? Would any invest in a Happy Hero Studio deposit? HappyHeroDeposit.com. Learn more at HappyHeroStudio.com or InspireLansing.com. It'll go through. InspireLansing.com starts at the beginning. It's not even the full funnel. It's just what I'm starting at, because it's like I've had to rebuild websites and recreate them and take them down and move them and blah 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 blah. I start one thing and then I get distracted, and now I'm fully focused on this, and I'm going to continue to be, but I'm just going to less expectations, I guess. I mean, I'm in this for the long game. If it takes me another year, that's going to suck. But if it takes me another year to start making money, I'll put 7 podcasts out a day, 365. Imagine myself over that time. Spend 38 days, multiply that 10x. That constant improvement. I mean, that's what Gary's doing. He's constantly improving. That's why people can't catch up to him. He knows how far ahead of the game he is, and that's why he gives the content out for free, because even if someone does catch up, it's like makes him more hungry. If someone was doing this, I would just go if someone was doing this, I would just go ask for a job. I thought about asking for a job at Casita, but something didn't feel right. And I'm glad I didn't, because he sold out. I mean, I would have wanted to transition to the new company, but the point is that I'm perfectly content with where I'm at. I would prefer to just build my vision. My vision is way stronger than anyone else's. I prefer my vision over anyone else's. I look at everyone else's, and I don't think anyone else's vision is as inclusive as mine is. That's the problem. If I could find someone that their vision included my vision, I would have no problem working for them. That's why I haven't actually worked for Gary Vee. I believe his vision is inclusive inside of mine, which is a pretty confident thing to say for someone that just said he wasn't very self-confident in his last podcast. I wasn't even self-confident enough to go down in front of people, just go talk, just go watch a pitch competition. I don't know why I didn't, other than I needed the adversity. I needed the kick to the face. It's like I need these kicks to the face or something. When are people going to start joining me? If you've watched this far, why haven't you joined forces with me? Do you not understand what I'm doing? It's okay if you didn't. But if you do now, come on, let's work together. Throw some money my way. It's not like I'm not going to reward you. I need the funding. I need the prototype. I need land. I need a factory. I need to start cranking these things. I need to start hiring people. I need to start marketing heavier. Having sidekicks to help me with these podcasts, the people to build these spaces. We're all going to build it together. These podcasts are going to be awesome. I'm going to be showing you how to build these spaces, how to build entire villages on these podcasts. That's why I have Gary V Club, the Grab ATTN podcast. It's to grab your attention. I'm an idiot. I didn't go to this pitch competition because I wasn't in the top 5, but there were a bunch of investors there. And I still didn't go because of my self-confidence issues. But I'll do these videos where everyone can see me looking like a moron, whining like a baby. I need people. Part of it, I was really sick. It's a sickness. I mean, it's genuine. I need to be nearby. That's why I love the certain city designs. That's why I love the way Vegas is. Everything's close, compacted. But I also like small communities. It's a combination of things. It's a combination of environment. Lansing is pretty cool on Saginaw Highway. It's not perfect, but it's very interesting, especially if you live at Village Green. Have the library right there. Have the everything that Village Green has with their pool and the mall right next door. It's really interesting. And there's so much possibility there. And I gave up my apartment there, and I feel resentment about that and bitterness about that. But ultimately, I just haven't been stepping up. And now I am. I hope you understand that all this adversity and defeat, all this stupid stuff I'm putting myself through, I'm just improving. And next time, I have an opportunity to get an investor. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what this is going to mean, really. I feel like an idiot, quite honestly, right now. I don't know why I wasn't in the top 5. I don't know why I didn't go down there to focus on that more. All I know is that the name of this podcast is, if you wake up unhappy, just like I have to create my life, I have to create this personality that I want. I have to break through my own stuff. You have to as well. It doesn't matter what kind of adversity and defeat you have. Just keep going, because life can be good fairly easily. Even if you have to live out in a tent in the wilderness, it's not that bad. But, oh man, I've been putting out a lot of content, a lot of good content. Some of them are better than others. Some episodes are, but overall, I think you're seeing a transformation in me. I feel like something magical is happening. I wanted to go and I didn't want to go. And I just feel like it's time to move on. I just think it's time to move on. I need the funding. Let's get the funding. But I'm not going to do it here. I probably will move back up to Lansing. I love Lansing. And I'm still going to invest in Jackson and still invest in the people. If I have the money, as the money comes in, as much money, the intention is, billions and, over $1 trillion over the next 10 years. So that money will flow into Jackson as well. But the initial prototype, I don't think will be in Jackson unless something significant comes of this. Unless someone sees this and is like, you know what, this idiot didn't come, but I'm going to invest in him, and I want him to be a part of this. But right now, I just don't feel like the community wants me to be a part of it, because a lot of people in this community know about me. A lot of people in this community have saw me really struggling and just turned a blind eye. And some have helped me, really, really tried to help me. But overall, I just feel like I'm not wanted here. Like, that's the thing. There are other communities that I mean, I actually feel wanted. Something, I'm going with what makes the most sense at the time with the funding that is achieved. The initial prototype is the first. And as I have this prototype and can show you my designs and can show you more and can show you what can happen with these tools, uh, things are just going to get better and better. It's going to be constant improvement. I don't know the exact timeline. I just know that as long as I keep up these habits, then success will come. Thank you for another episode of the Grab ATTN podcast. If you wake up unhappy, you have to create it. Listen to this whole podcast. You listen to a range of stuff, a lot of back and forth. It's okay. I mean, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm not. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't believe I am. I believe that I'm breaking through and creating something extraordinary. So you either agree with that or you think I'm crazy. But I appreciate you listening to me. And if you want to learn more, inspirelansing.com. Have a great day.